this is looking very, very close. Unable to really tell who's going to get it done, but Patat with a commanding victory over Newt Silver that time. Although Steph with some critical healing, that could turn the tides here, as we have one character on either side, both very low on health, and they're both going to get one pick each. But now Steph, with a massive pick, is now going to gank in the corner now, and that is going to be the win for Steph, and that is going to put Pastelava on a 2-loss streak, down to 92 points. Steph with a big win. Now see Minty versus Newt Silver here. This is first versus second. Something has to give. 2 win streaks of over 5 or above. Lots of firepower. Lots of defensive potence as well from both teams, and both teams getting their picks. Minty, though, I think just has the numerical advantage here. And I think it's going to be Newt Silver's win streak that's going to be coming to an end. Newt Silver, though, still has some firepower for herself. This is coming right down to the wire. And it's going to be Newt Silver getting a massive win over Minty. That breaks Minty's win streak.
A very strong force in this game, so Extra needs to win, but absolutely destroyed by Patat there. Like, wow. Just no chance.
Pastelava holds all the cards. Retro on just 7 points. Just the most minute changes in composition for both of them. But again, it looks like it's going to be all Pastelava as he demolishes through Retro's team. And it's going to be win number 1 in the series for Pastelava. He has obviously just come off the back of a loss. Pastelava off the back of a win. Newt Silver, though, does defeat Giant quite convincingly so. Pastelava does defeat Steph as well. Coco Slayer in the middle of the park. Could the fairy tale be over? The healing, though, very, very strong for Coco Slayer. Does get that 1 pick. It's still a 2v1, though. But there's Coco Slayer's backline doing the work. That makes it a 1v1 in the front line. And they're still healing that central unit, but it does get picked off. Could this be it? Not quite. Coco Slayer just about pulls through, gets the win. A gap 77. Newt Silver looking to snap Pastelava's win streak here of 9 in a row. Newt Silver back to winning ways, of course, against Legaf. But Pastelava looks oh so strong. But Newt Silver looks to be getting the win over Pastelava, and does with them. I think Retro might be beginning to overwhelm Newt Silver here, and he is. The streak is snapped at 16. Newt Silver won't break the record in game 1, as Retro now carries an 11-game win streak. See Extra Thick now beginning to overwhelm Jai, but Jai beginning to come back and gets the win over Extra Thick, and that is a huge win for Jai. Could it be a 4th win on the season for Jai in a potential last-ditch resort to claim the championship? Will it be a 7th for Newt Silver to put 2 hands more firmly on the trophy? Game number 1 is going to go the way of Jai, and wins his 4th game of the season to win 7 fights in a row to finish it off. Jai may not be out of it just yet. Making the difference in what might be the final fight here. Newt Silver must win to keep her hopes alive of getting the win in game number 2. It's advantage Patat here, and again, big picks, not even close.
Done.
Patat wins game number 2.
Yeah, very well played from Patat there.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to anyone who may be watching around the world. We are back on twitch.tv/Hive Esports Games for the final week 10 of Season 1 of the Hive Esports Teamfight Tactics Series. Back to your regularly scheduled casting this week after Newt Silver and Piff took the reins for week 9, as myself and George actually took to the battlefield for some double-up TFT, which will be potentially be running back again tonight, depending on player count. So, firstly, George, we're back in the saddle again. How are you feeling? 1 more week.
We are. It feels a little bit weird. I haven't casted in, what, like 5-6 weeks now? Like, but it's good to be back, though. It is good. We will take a look at the last week's winners. Here we go. So for the first game, we had Backstabber and Extra Thick. It was a pretty close game. They won via 3-star Lissandra from some really lucky rolls from Extra Thick there. Pretty outstanding. And then in game 2, me and Will were actually really close to that first place. But then Shirayuki got 11 Demacia, and we just couldn't do anything about that, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was pretty much chalked from the start. But we did a fairly good job working together, getting the units we needed. We had a really good comp going as well. But 2 debutantes as well, taking victory in their first outings in Backstabber and Shirayuki, both in their first games. And I do believe we're going to have maybe 1 or 2 debutantes as well today as well.
Yeah.
Everyone bringing their friends along for some double up. No points on the line, same as in week number 9, but obviously
we have had a week of Double Up, but for those who may have missed it, what is something to look out for in Double Up that's different from regular TFT?
Well, first of all, double up. If you didn't get it from the name already, that means it is 2 people in one team. And if you're familiar with Arena, it kind of functions similarly, as in it is a 2v2v2v2. In double up, your health bar is shared. So if you lose health, even if your partner loses health, even if you win, you will still lose HP. A little bit less, but still losing HP nonetheless. In Double Up, you can also send units and items to your partner, so that can offer up a few wacky comps or easier access to 4 stars, 3-star 4 costs, 3 stars in general, and yeah.
Definitely a new way of playing. Obviously, you essentially have twice the choice, really. Everyone, a
Yeah.
lot less RNG with the shop and whatnot. If you see that your partner has something that you need, you can always send it over to them. So it allows some really, really interesting dynamics there. But of those that we've seen so far in week 9, would there be anyone you particularly look out for as a potential dark horse or a potential winner today? Some contenders.
Ooh, well, this week we don't actually have Newt Silver, so I can't suggest her anymore. But I think Pasta Lover and Coco Slayer might stand a chance this week, as Pasta Lover is one of our, reigning winners. Um, Hopefully he can make a comeback, because last week he didn't do too well in the double up games, but hopefully with a bit of teamwork they can come back in the next game.
And as smooth as you like, we are into game 1 here of week 10 here for some double up. And here are your teams, Pasta Lover and Coco Slayer, as we've mentioned, in Team Yellow. Steph and Avi will be Team Blue. Yowie Addict and Jax 003, Team Pink, and Giant Retro, Team Purple. As we are into phase 1-2. There's already some PvE rounds, very menial to start off with. That is one thing that does not change from regular TFT. The first few rounds will simply be PvE, looking for loot, goodies, econ, and such. To start kicking off your team composition, you get 1 complimentary unit to start off the game to build a team. And already, people are winning their PvE games fairly quickly.
Yeah, a nice little Zoe there from Jax 003. Targon units are really good, especially early game, because they provide you with Shred, Sunder, Burn, which are some really good debuffs, which otherwise are unobtainable unless it is through items. But as we can see here, Retro got that Nautilus, but decided to sell it, so potentially not going for a Bilgewater comp here. However, did also get a Draven, so potentially looking for a Noxus comp.
Bilgewater comps are something that we've seen particularly in week 8 when set 16 launched, I should say. It was particularly strong. Already we have the Bilgewater black market that you can access as well with that when you get a high enough level, and that really opens a lot of doors. But Noxus comps have shown to be very strong as well. We see Pasta Love already has 2/3 of the way to a Zorn comp, which isn't something we've seen a lot. I think week 9 has some very strong Zorn comps that unfortunately I think myself and George were on the bitter end of, I think, as it were. But Pasta Lover, who we're focusing on now, getting it done with a Blitzcrank here. So that is a Bruiser unit there. So that's also halfway to a Bruiser comp. So still many options wide open. As some gold augment picks here. This is Pasta Lover's selection. Chooses to reroll the first pick. Now has Bodyguard Training, 2-Trick, and Heroic Grab Bag.
Yeah, re-rolling that Heroic Grab Bag, I think. I believe that was 2-Trick, yep. So I think that's a 2-star, 1-star, a 2-star 1-cost unit and a 2-star 2-cost unit, potentially 2, I'm not sure. But yeah, 2-star Affiliators, pretty good actually, and a 2-star Blitzcrank. So gonna get that Juggernaut, gonna be a little bit tanky and going for potentially a Void comp, but staying flexible at the moment.
Definitely, and with already bronze level on 2 separate comp, that is very, very already strong and definitely allows Pasta Lover and Coco Slayer as well a lot of options. As now we're into PvP phase 2-1. It's Pasta Lover versus Jai. So that's Team Yellow versus Team Purple, which means Team Blue and Team Pink will be facing off on the other screen here. So we'll see who can come out on top here. So it's Pastelov with the white health bars and Jaya with the purple. And immediately looks fairly close for initial fight here. Both of them level 4, so they have the same amount of units. Jaya's going to get one last pick, and now Retro is going to jump in 2-on-1 after defeating Coco Slayer. Now jumps in 2-on-1 against Pastelova, and that is going to be an easy win for Team Purple as Team Blue and Team Yellow lose out. So that is another feature of Double Up. Once your partner finishes their fight, assuming they win, they can then jump into your fight and help you take care of yours as well. So it becomes a 2-on-1, which is definitely a blessing or a curse if you're on the wrong end of it.
Yeah, I can definitely attest to that, as we've definitely experienced that, especially last week
It was so
when
close.
we're about to win and then someone just jumps in. But I mean, it's great if you're the one being jumped in on, getting saved or getting helped. But yeah,
Now again, Team Yellow are conducting, I think, some PvE fights here. Just getting some more loot and goodies here before heading back into PvP. Or is it Team Yellow versus Purple again?
I don't.
Oh, it
Oh yeah,
is.
yeah. Purple versus yellow. Yeah, yeah,
Again.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
didn't think we'd
because
see that matchup again.
because I think we're viewing a different member of the yellow team, and that different member is facing either the same member of the purple team
Oh,
or a different member of the purple team. A little
that
bit
makes
topsy-turvy, but
sense.
now hopefully there should be no yellow versus purple for at least a short while.
That did confuse me. I was thinking they can't do it again, surely. But I suppose there are 2 members of each team, so that is possible as a matchup. So
Yeah, and
that
I
does mean
believe
Team Purple.
Retro was hidden down there in the bottom right corner
Yeah.
as well.
So
Sneaky
Team
little
Purple
guy.
now 2-0 against
Yeah.
Team Yellow. So that is already establishing some dominance there. Team Purple, the only ones undefeated. So that means that Team Blue and Team Pink both 1-1 against each other. As we see Steph looks to be going for a Piltover comp. And Steph, yeah, long shot and Arcanist as well. So still keeping his options open, as again it's Blue versus Pink. It's Steph versus Jax.
Yeah, haven't really seen many Piltover comps. Piltover is usually more of like a filler trait, but I know Caitlyn is really good in the early game. As you see there, she almost just one-shot that Anivia in the backline. I know recently she got some nerfs, but yeah, Steph losing, but just getting saved by Avi here.
We'll see how that turns the tides, and as you can see, Steph and Arvi now getting it done against Team Pink as Yowie Addict and Jax lose out. Pastelova does win his game, but Coco Slayer losing out, so that is a small loss of health there for Team Yellow. Team Purple also losing some health down to 97, but as it stands, they still lead the way. Jai and Retro is heading into the carousel for the first time.
Yeah, are you a Yowie addict, Will?
I am not,
Oh,
personally. It's
flop.
not my cup of tea.
Boring. No, I hope we have some other Yowie addicts among the players here.
If you're in the chat and you're a Yowie addict, be loud and proud of that.
Let
Tell
us
us how
know.
much you
Let us know
love
if you're a Yowie addict in the chat, not in the comments, or in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube.
Absolutely. Or tweet at us at Hive Esports Games. Say, I am a Yowie
Yeah,
addict.
let us know. Let us know. Steph here getting 3 Piltover, putting in that Vi, I believe, or just making some space for that Jinx. Yowie addict potentially looking for a Yordle comp here. A little bit of Yordle, some defender with that Jarvan, and Gunslinger with the Jhin. Maybe going for a bit of a Tristana carry, or maybe looking for something in the late game.
Have to wait and see, as it's going to be a Yowie addict versus Pasta Lover. Probably gonna. How many times am I gonna have to shout Yowie addict
Yowie
today?
addict.
I'll have to wait and see. But it's Team Pink versus Team Yellow here, as Yowie addict and Pasta Lover fighting out. We'll see if either one of Pink or Yellow gets some external support eventually, and it's gonna go the way of Pasta Lover. No 2v1s needed, as Coco Slayer was about to jump in the top left corner, but Pasta Lover had business taken care of there. Jai wins for Team Purple, but Retro does lose out. Team Blue with a big loss of health with 2 losses there. 1 win, 1 loss for Team Pink. It does tighten things up a bit. Just 9 points separating our teams heading into the planning phase once again.
Yeah, that 2-star Aphelios just a little bit strong. Again, Aphelios is a Targon unit, so offering that Sunder. And with the Gwinsu's Rage Blade as well, just doing that damage. Jai here, one of our stronger contestants as well. With Retro, another one of our pretty strong contestants, I think. Definitely going to be a team to reckon with. But yeah, 2 Void, 2 Bruiser here. A lot of damage and a lot of sustain.
Definitely looking very strong in this early game. Jaya, of course, finishing second in the championship. Retro, I think, all the way up to top 5 with a brilliant second half of the season. In fact, winning his first ever game en route to breaking a record. Got 19 wins in a row in that particular game. That is still a series record to this day. So in the second half of the season, including week 10, Retro a force to be reckoned with as Jai taking care of business against Coco Slayer. That's Team Purple versus Team Yellow. Pasta Lover does beat Retro, however, as 2 wins for Steph and RV put Team Blue into second place. Team Pink just falling by the wayside with 2 losses on 78 points now.
Yeah, now this is a PvE round. This is a PvE round. Yeah, as we can see, RV here going for Bilgewater. Got that Bard, so we're going to be getting a few free units. Definitely been re-rolling a bit. Probably looking for that Twisted Fate, I assume. But does also have a 2-star Nautilus and is just over halfway to getting a 3-star Nautilus as well. So that's going to be a pretty tanky front line. But yeah, hopefully we'll get that 5 Bilgewater sooner rather than later.
Of course, that's going to really open up options for RV. Getting that 5 Bilgewater obviously levels that up to the silver trait level, which the Bilgewater Black Market will become only stronger from that point on. As you see, a 2-star unit there. I believe is that Nautilus there? That just became a 2-star? Yes.
Yeah.
So seeing that in the shop immediately with a quick buy, of course. If you get 3 of one unit, it levels up in star level. So that will be something for them to look out for. As you see, one of the features of Double Up, sending items to your partner. See a gift there from Yowie Addict over to Jax on Team Pink as we're about to start some more PvP in phase number 3, and it's going to be Jax versus Coco Slayer on our screens. Team Pink versus Team Yellow, 3rd and 4th, but quite a bit of separation in terms of points between them. As you see, Coco Slayer immediately looking very, very strong here. We'll see if they can finish the job. Jax, no pushover though, by any stretch of the imagination. 5 wins in a row for Pasta Lover, as in comes Pasta Lover now to help Coco Slayer. It's a 2v1 now. Jax with their back up against the wall massively here. Yowie Addict unable to jump in and help their partner, and that is going to be 2 losses for Team Pink as they do unlock the Tryndamere unit there. But 2 wins for Team Yellow propels them back up into second place and within 2 points of the leaders in Team Purple.
Yeah, a potential Freljord reroll. Absolutely disgusting comp, by the way. I hate that comp. So, Jax, I am evil-eyeing you. I hope I cast a curse you. Yeah, despite not having many traits active, only just 2 Juggernaut and 2 out of 3 Freljord. That was a pretty decent fight there. Retro here with the 4 Noxus, potentially a vertical Noxus, potentially like a Fast 9 5 cost comp. Either way, pretty exciting. But as we can see, the Draven there with the Ginsu's Rageblade and the Kraken Slayer, some 80 heavy items, but got that Aphelios in there for that Sunder, not Shred, Thunder, for that Sunder. So gonna be assisting that Draven when it comes to damage.
And we'll see how well that comes through here, as that is going to be Retro taking on RV here with this Targon Noxus comp. So this is Team Purple versus Team Blue. Purple trying to retain their lead after Giant lost that 5-game win streak and brought them into the clutches of Team Yellow. So Yellow now with the momentum as they take on Team Pink, which is of course Jax and Yowie Addict. Retro now taking care of RV here. That is going to be a win for Team Purple, as that is also going to help Jai, as it's a 2-on-1 against Jax. And that is a big hit for Team Pink, down to 67 points. A double loss as well for Team Blue and now for Team Pink, as Team Yellow and Team Purple begin to streak away here. There's a big gap between the top 2 and the bottom 2.
Yeah, unfortunately not a great game for our Pinks today. But to be fair, I believe Yowie Addict isn't much of a TFT player. He's just here for the whimsy and for the vibes, and obviously Jax as well. Not sure where they stand within their TFT knowledge, TFT prowess, I guess. Spitting bars here, holy. But yeah, just here for the whimsy and the vibes.
Absolutely nothing on the line in terms of points or prizes. Purely just for fun to kick off the last 2 weeks of the Teamfight Tactics series before, of course, if you see in the bottom right corner, if you've been observant, we'll be announcing the game for our next tournament in early February. But we are keeping our lips sealed at the moment on what that may be as we keep working in the background. But speaking of working here, Pasta Lover taking care of Jai, and it now becomes a 2-on-1. Coco Slayer and Pasta Lover against Retro here. And Team Yellow are going to take the lead quite convincingly here from Team Purple. They're now 6 points ahead, as 1 win each for Blue and Pink mean that it's a little bit of damage limitation here. But back into the carousel, Team Yellow lead with 84 points, 6 ahead of Team Purple. Then a big gap back to Team Blue on 67 points and Team Pink on 58.
Steph being on 6-7 is absolutely diabolical. Pasta Lover getting that Rift Herald, definitely a big jump in power for that Void comp. But that is a terrifying Rek'Sai. Just bounces on the backline, dives on the backline, spins around, assassinates whoever dares steps in her way, and just absolutely eats them up.
Definitely doing a lot of damage early doors here, and that is going to give them all the momentum here. Coco Slayer gets a choice of gift to send their partner, Champion Duplicator and 10 gold, Artifact Item, or 3 5-cost champions, all of which seem quite good at this point in the game.
Yeah, I'll be completely honest. I don't play double up that much, but usually in stages this early, it's like a component, an item, or a champion or some gold. I have never seen such good rewards before.
I mean, 3 5-cost seems a bit insane.
Yeah, this early in the game,
3-5.
that is kind of cray-cray. Kind of cray-cray.
Well, hopefully they have made the wise choice to have Team Yellow as they lead here by 6 points in this first game of Week 10 double up. It's going to be Coco Slayer versus Arvis. This is Yellow versus Blue. Purple will take on Team Pink. And we'll see if either one of these two can last long enough for their partners to come in and finish the job for them. But Coco Slayer getting it done here against RV. Massive damage output. RV really powerless to resist at this point. RV though putting up something of a fight, but unfortunately just couldn't quite last long enough to get some help from Steph, who did win his game as well. 1 win for Yaoi Alex for Team Pink, and that was the same for Purple and for Yellow. So everyone just losing a little bit of HP, essentially keeping the game fairly even, as Team Yellow still lead by 6 over Purple.
Yeah, as we can see here as well, some more gifts. 18 gold, a completed item anvil, or 4 4-cost champions. A mouthful that is. But not as fancy as the rewards before, but still nothing to scoff at. 4 4-cost champions could be quite pivotal, again, especially this early in the game. But I wouldn't be upset with any of those gifts, I can't lie.
Definitely. I think would be helpful, especially that many champions. You're immediately looking at, if you get those again in the shop later in the game, you're saving a lot of econ and potentially get them to 2, even 3 stars. So
yeah,
potentially a big late game help as well. As Steph will now take on Retro again. So it's Blue versus Purple here, which means RV is taking on Jai as Team Yellow and Team Pink. First versus fourth. Also do battle off screen. Immediately looking like a fairly even fight here between Steph and Retro. Neither one really pulling out the stops, the necessary picks here. Retro, I think, just beginning to overwhelm Steph just a little bit, but a lot of Retro's units are on low HP, still potentially waiting for one of their teammates to jump in here, but all the fights are still going on as Team Pink have taken care of business there. Retro is going to just about get it done over Steph. RV loses out, as well as both Team Yellow players also lose out, putting Team Purple back on the top step here, 6 points ahead of Team Yellow, and then third and fourth are tied on 53 points.
Yeah, Steph with this front line, but unfortunately not enough backline damage. That Echo just got taken out a little bit too early for him to really do anything. Yaoi Addict here going for a Yordle comp, potentially going for a Vigar with that one Rabadon's death cap there, potentially going to be looking for a second. As we can see, that 3-star Rumble and the emergence of a 3-star Lulu, only 2 away there.
Definitely is. Everyone taking care of business in the PvE already, all done. 2-star Nico there for Steph and a 2-star Grace for RV. So everyone really starting to get a lot of 2-stars here as they start to get some repeat options in the shop here. Looking at Jai's, Targon, Blacksmith and Harvester comp there.
Yes. I believe that is from the 3-5 costs he received. Blacksmith, as you can see there, that is the Orn in the front. The Vanquisher, not the Vanquisher, the Harvester. Well, he is a Vanquisher, but the Harvester, the Fiddlesticks, and there was... Oh, and the Shavana as well. It was on the bench, but he put it in play, which is probably a good idea. But Fiddlesticks is a really good unit, to be fair, because he just, when he casts, the people within the radius take more damage. So that is just a lot more damage for Jai here. But unfortunately, not going to be enough.
Definitely. Jai will, with those very, very strong units, see a lot of leveled up traits there, but just could not quite hold RV back there. That's an important win for Team Blue in their mission to get back in this game as they sit 15 points down. It's a double loss for both our top two teams, and that has brought everything massively closer together here with just 63 points for Team Purple to 53 points for Team Pink and Yellow here. So the entire field now inside 10 points. The bottom three all within 1 point here. So this has gotten very close very, very quickly in the momentum, potentially swinging the way of the bottom two teams here.
Yes, we are looking at RV here right now, and I just realized that this is the exact same board and the same unit I usually use. I was really confused. I was like, is that my account for a second? I was like, what is going on here? But yeah, RV here with level 6 Bilgewater, proving why Bilgewater is one of the better comps, beating Jai last round with only a 4 cost to their name, really. Yeah, pretty astounding.
We'll see if that Bilgewater comp continues to get stronger here as RV will take on Retro here, trying to continue this positive momentum for Team Blue and capitalize on a double loss for both Team Purple and Team Yellow here. RV looking very, very strong in this section of the game. Retro, though, no one to be scoffed at. Retro beginning to overwhelm RV, I think, here. But RV does have more of a numbers advantage. Retro, though, is going to overwhelm RV just a bit at the end there with the additional unit from being level 7. And that is going to swing the momentum back towards Team Purple, who are on 56 points now. Jai, though, does lose out. Team Pink up to second place as Steph manages to win there to bring Team Blue up into third place, which means that a double loss for Team Yellow brings Coco Slayer and Pastelov all the way from first down to last.
Yeah, retro there with that that Scion with the Spirit Visage and even Shroud, pretty tanky. Scion passively gains health when when there are takedowns. So yeah, and he just got that 2-star Draven as well with the Darkin Bow. So gonna be doing a lot of damage. As we can see here, Jax 003 with the Freljord comp, which we know is a really strong one, as that's what won the first double up game last week and almost got us our win as well.
Definitely, Freljord looking to be very, very strong here. I did notice as well 2 3-star unit picks for Steph and for RV. Steph with Echo, RV with obviously the Bilgewater unit, Twisted Fate, which could prove massively strong, although RV does lose out in their game. I believe that was against Pastelova, which moves Team Blue back down to last place. Meanwhile, Coco Slayer and Pastelova ganging up on Jax there. 2 versus 1 moves Coco Slayer and Pastelova back into second place. Pink and Blue back down to being tied for last, but Purple not that far ahead, only 7 points ahead of last. So heading back into the carousel, the entire field still within 7 points as we're about halfway done here.
Yeah, considering that we went from a pretty big divide in between first and last, now only 7 points, now only 7 point difference. Yeah, which could mean the game is going to go on for pretty long, or the game is going to be over quite swiftly.
We'll have to wait and see which way it goes, as you see a lot of 2-star units now for our players here. A 3-star Tristana as well for Yaoi. Alex is starting to see a few more 3-star picks. Interesting that RV couldn't get it done with a 3-star Twisted Fate, of course, adding to that Bilgewater comp, and now 3-star Nautilus as well, continuing to reinforce their attack, waiting to see if they can get that team shaped up the right way to take full advantage of that. Focusing here now on Retro, still with that Noxus Bruiser comp here, 1 away, or 2 away rather, from getting that gold trait. Going to take on Coco Slayer here, who sits in 2nd place alongside Pasta Lover here. This will be a very, very tight game here. 1st versus 2nd in the teams fight here, so blue and pink are going to be taking each other on here. And so far, looking very, very close. It's whoever can get the first picks and take advantage of the numbers boost there, and it's going to go the way of Coco Slayer. Just began to overwhelm Retro in the end there, despite Pasta Lover losing. That's going to be a bit of damage limitation for Team Yellow, but a big hit in points for Team Pink as both Yowie Addict and Jax lose out. A double win for Team Blue moves them all the way up to 2nd place, but they are now, actually they're tied for 1st with Team Purple as they only won 1 of their games.
Yeah, Pasta Lover here with 7 Void. Once they reach level 10, they will be able to go for that Baron Nashor. AP Kaiser here, so, you know. Or do you know? I don't know, actually. AP Kaiser, if you give her AP items, she gains attack speed, and then every, I think it's 3 or 5 attacks, she will do additional damage, which can be pretty strong, to be fair. But also got the Belveth there as well, so going to be doing a little bit of AD damage as well, so keeping it well balanced.
As we see it again, Yellow and Purple are going to be taking each other on here. Pasta Lover against Retro. Arvi immediately losing out there to Coco Slayer. That's going to relegate Team Blue down to 3rd place. Pasta Lover does get it done over Retro, and now again the entire field becoming way closer together here as Team Purple have gone from 1st to last in 1 round. Down to 31 points. Team Yellow have taken the lead. Steph as well gets the win, and that moves Team Blue into 2nd place. Team Purple back up to 3rd as Team Pink are again relegated down to last. Still everyone within just 13 points, but for a brief moment there, Team Purple were down to last after being 1st at the start of that fight.
Yeah, kind of crazy. The table has just flipped. Like, pretty unusual for the Hive Esports TFT. Usually there's a really clear-cut winner, but this game it's kind of all over the place. Coco Slayer here with 7 Zorn unlocked that Warwick, but also got an Azir on the field there as well. Zorn, a little bit of a contested comp today, I feel. Coco Slayer definitely not the only person going for that Zorn comp, so probably a few contested units about.
Definitely, although I think Coco Slayer at an advantage of that 7 Zorn, that's just going to make their team so much stronger. See a choice of items here: Chain Vest, Hero of the Goddess, Recurve Bone, Sparring Gloves. That can range anywhere from attack speed to mana to any sort of boost. See a 3-star Nico there for Steph as well. I believe that's a 2nd 3-star Nico. There was an Echo, pardon me, as well. The other 3-star unit, Steph got, sorry, Ilawi as well for Arvi. So Team Blue getting a lot of 3-star units, but I'm just not sure it's the units they need to potentially flesh out their traits, as it were. As Coco Slayer taking on Steph here. This is Team Yellow versus Team Blue. 1st versus 2nd here. Trying to see who will actually take 1st place here, because I think the winner of this will eventually end up in the lead, as here comes Pasta Lover to help out Coco Slayer, but doesn't quite get it done, and a double win for Team Blue does move them up into 1st place. Yellow team relegated down to 2nd on 33. 23 points now for Retro and Giant Team Purple, and Yowie Addict and Jax down to just 12 points. So they're on something of a knife edge.
Yeah, Steph abusing that reroll Echo comp right now, which we were victim to last week, unfortunately. But yeah, 3-star Echo. So still a Zorn-ish comp, Zorn comp, but beating the 7 Zorn, just kind of crazy.
Definitely proof that simply a leveled up trait isn't a deciding factor here, as it's all bronze apart from the Targon and the Huntress. So still looking very, very strong, excuse me, is Steph. As Steph now takes on Pasta Lover, So again, first versus second, blue versus yellow. We'll see. So pink losing out to purple last time has to take them on again. That could be troublesome for Team Pink here, as Steph and Pasta Lover will continue to do battle here, waiting to see if, like last time, there will be an intervention from either one of their teammates here. But Steph beginning to overwhelm Pasta Lover. I don't think Pasta Lover is going to have much means of resistance here unless Coco Slayer can jump in at the last second. And does that turn the tide as Avi has lost their fight? Does that turn the tide in the favor of Team Yellow as Coco Slayer has come in to save Pasta Lover? Steph, though, still holding on, but potentially not for much longer. And that does turn the tide for Team Yellow. They take the lead by 10 points as a double loss for Team Pink now has them on just 1 point. Of course, if one of your team members does lose all of their health, you are given a lifeline. You are put down to 1 HP, but you will be eliminated if you fail to win both of your games from that point forward. So Team Pink on a knife edge.
Yeah, a pretty rough game for Steph there. Had that Kai'Sa cornered, but she just clocked that Vi in time for her to not damage her anymore. And then obviously bought a little bit more time for Pasta Lover to come in and save them. So unfortunate for Steph there, but again, almost came through on that 2v1 right there. But yeah, Yaoi Addict here with the Yordle comp. Just got that Fizz. Hopefully the Fizz will do just enough damage to take out that back line before it can do too much damage to the front line.
Let's see Yaoi Addict and Avi, of course. Yaoi Addict and Jax trying to save their game here. But it looks like they're getting somewhat overwhelmed here, but they're beginning to bring it back. But they... Ooh, are they going to be eliminated here at the end of this fight here? They do seem to be, as Retro and Jai as well, down to just 10 points. It's a double win for both Team Yellow and Team Blue. And there's your confirmation. Team Pink are out, down to just 3 teams remaining heading into the carousel. It's first place for Team Yellow on 33 points, 23 points for Team Blue, and just 10 points for Team Purple, with Team Pink being out on negative 12 points here. So potentially at last preparations here, with only 3 teams left in the carousel. So this is going to be a highly important carousel pick, making sure they all get the units and the items that they need here, really. As you mentioned, there's a lot of contested units here, particularly with the Zorn players this game. So important that everyone gets what they need. Obviously, they could be in big trouble here, but looking at Pasta Lover, not one of the Zorn players with that 7 Void comp, potentially one away from a Prismatic, which could be very troublesome for everybody else here, as well as being up to level 9.
Yeah, level 9, like pretty high amount of gold as well. I believe just over 10 gold away from being able to get to level 10 to unlock that Baron Nashor, which is an absolutely pivotal unit because that gives you 9 Void, which upgrades your already existing like Void mutations, which are buffs for your Void units. And then Baron itself just doing a lot of damage, and yeah, pretty pivotal.
We'll see as Team Yellow and Team Blue take on each other here. Retro as well wins for Team Purple. It's going to be 1 win and 1 loss for Team Yellow. A double loss there for Team Blue. That brings Team Purple right back into the game here with a double win. That turns the tide somewhat. Team Yellow retain the lead, but Team Purple are going to take second place from Team Blue, but just 10 and 8 points respectively for those two. But both of them on the verge of potential elimination here, as Team Yellow seem to hold all the cards here with some very strong comps here, some strong units, a lot of econ as well, particularly with Coco Slayer here, level 9, and still has 50 gold here, as you mentioned. So looks to be going the way of Team Yellow, but of course there is, as we've seen from the past 9 weeks, it is not over until it is truly over, as Team Yellow and Team Blue will now do battle here. This is Coco Slayer versus Steffi. This is going to be a pivotal fight in Team Blue's survival in this game as well. Important to keep an eye on Team Purple there on the right hand side, see if Retro and Jai can get the job done here, as still super close. Hard to tell really if either one of these two is beginning to pull away. I think Coco Slayer is beginning to overwhelm Steph, as RV does lose out, as does Steph. And I believe that is going to be all she wrote for Team Blue, unless they still have a lifeline. So they may well remain on 1 HP and live to fight another day. But Retro and Jai still surviving there. Coco Slayer and Passalva down to 19 points.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate for Steph. He has gone for a reroll comp, but it appears he doesn't really know quite what to do with it as the game has progressed. But yeah, they had that first spot for quite a while, so they've had quite a strong run. So definitely not gone down without a fight, but unfortunately just not surviving much into the late game.
Yeah, definitely. The runs are sort of petering out really for Team Blue. But of course, lessons always being learned. We had this sort of thing in Game 1, Week 9, where I didn't know what I was doing at all. I still don't. But we learned a couple of tidbits there for...
That is a 3-star 5 cost.
Oh.
That I'm not even sure if we've seen that in our competition yet. But I mean, yeah, a 3-star 5 cost on, giving all of the artifacts to Jai. So I didn't even see that coming.
Wow.
That is crazy.
I mean, we didn't get any of those, but if that had happened at any point between Week 1 and Week 8, that's 3 bonus points.
Oh my god.
So that, unfortunately, we didn't see any of that, and that is just tearing Team Yellow to pieces.
That is, well, that's the game, everybody.
That's the
That is the
game.
game.
That's game.
That
That is
is
insane.
The game.
Team Yellow just got all F4'd.
I am stunned. Like, gobsmacked.
That is insane.
That was crazy. I mean, considering
Team
that
Blue
we've
are
gotten
out.
a lot of 5 costs from the gifting and the champ duplicators as well, like, we should have clocked that earlier. Like, oh my god.
That is just, there's so much stuff on the screen. And Jai set level 10 for good measure.
Yeah.
Just because.
Yeah.
3-star 5 cost, Ornn,
Yeah.
and level 10. Just because.
Just because I believe that's Ornn giving the gold, obviously, because he's not going to
Wow.
be giving any more artifacts, but crazy.
How much gold do you need on that? He's looking at Scrooge McDuck out here. With like all those gold coins. That's
True.
ridiculous. Look at that.
True.
That is insane.
He doesn't need them. He's got Jai. Like,
Yeah.
Jai is not going to lose. I mean, Jai's going to win 2 seconds, help out teammate. There's nothing anyone can do.
Let's take a look. Jai's already won. I was about to say, take a look at the right-hand side to see how quickly Jai wins. I didn't even get to finish that sentence. Jai takes down Coco Slayer. Retro still taking on Pastelova here. Not going to go down with as much of a fight, but Jai now does come in. Here comes that Ornn. The screen filled with so many things you can't even tell, and absolute domination there for Team Purple. Team Yellow do have their lifeline. They're still in the game on 1 HP, being on the verge of potential elimination, but I personally do not like Team Yellow's chances in this last fight.
Yeah, Retro here going for that 3-star Baron, but unfortunately, I don't think he'll have enough time. But, oh, not Retro, sorry, Pastelova going for that 3-star Baron. I believe might be a little bit stronger than Ornn, but, oh, did he just roll over one? I'm not sure. This is intense. Oh, just unable to find it. Was one Baron Nashor away as he has that duplicator in the corner, just unable to find it in time. Really unfortunate for Pastelova. Will not save them. Very, very well played from Jai there.
Definitely. I think that last fight was done in about 8 seconds. That was ridiculous, but absolutely well played. Team Purple are going to take victory in Game 1 of Week 10
That
in the
fight
finale.
ended before it even started.
We didn't even get to introduce it.
There was no competition. Like, you cannot compete when you do not even compare. Now, that
Utterly
is the
insane.
Hive Esports whimsy. That is the whimsy.
That is the sort of thing that's the sort of thing we really want to see in the regular competition weeks from Week 1 to 8. But alas, better late than never. That was utterly ridiculous from Team Purple and from Jai to get that 3-star 5 cost and absolutely wipe out Team Yellow like there was no tomorrow. That was an intense first game of Double Up, proving that there are no runaway winners despite what those last couple of fights might have suggested. There is still all to play for in Game 2 for our final bout of Teamfight Tactics for at least this year. Of course, never say never. This game may well return in Hive's future, but alas, that'll be all for now. We'll be back with Game 2 of Week 10 very shortly. We'll see you in a few minutes. Don't go. And welcome back to twitch.tv/Hive Esports Games for Game 2 of Week 10 of the Hive Esports Teamfight Tactics series. It's our grand finale here, our last week of fun games with double up here. 4 teams of 2 are going to battle it out here. It was Team Purple that won last time out with Retro and Jai, getting the first ever 3-star 5 cost that we've seen in competition. Absolutely demolished Team Yellow towards the end of it in what was otherwise a very tight game. So definitely still all to play for. We'll see if Team Purple can replicate that performance as well. Yet to wait and see, however. Still all to play for as well, with 6 other players, I suppose, that are very hungry for victory. But George, what stood out for you in that first game? Although I think I know.
I was gonna say, do we even need to ask? Just like, it didn't really stand out. It just kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
just
we
like
weren't tracking it really, were we?
no, it just like appeared. It just like happened. But yeah, like you mentioned, it was a really tight game until it wasn't. It was literally like those fucking rounds running. Excuse me, like those rounds are running across the board. Like, oh my god, just cleared, clocked them. Diva, well played to Jai for that 3-star 5 cost on.
Definitely. We'll see if they can replicate that. But I mean, in the past
Can you imagine
18
another
games, we've not seen another. If we get 2 in back-to-back games, that'll be pretty insane. And I think a good bookend to what's been, I think, a very fun season of TFT. So I think that would be good to see. But let's get some predictions in. While we've got some downtime while we're setting up the lobby for games, let's get some predictions for who may win. We've got the same pairs, so who have we got?
Well, I feel bad because obviously I said Coco Slayer and Pasta Lover, but they were gonna win, and then Jai got the 3-star 5 cost. So I feel like I've cast to curse them again. So I'm gonna say Steph and Avi for this game because they were very close last game, but just didn't quite get there. What about you?
Definitely. I think I'm going to go for what were pink team in game number 1. That's Yowie Addict and Jax. Mainly because I want to be able to just shout Yowie Addict at the end of a game and have that on my digital footprint forever. We'll see which one of us is right or if both of us are wrong in game 2 here of week 10. As you can see, it's the same colours as before. Pasta Lover and Coco Slayer are Team Yellow, Steph and Arvi Team Blue, Yowie Addict and Jax Team Pink, and Jai and Retro Team Purple. Jai, of course, your dominant winner in the end for Team Purple last time around, as we see a Targon off the bat here for Arvi. So that is immediately a leveled up trait there. Right off the bat, that's not something we see very often.
Yeah, again, Targon are quote-unquote traitless units. They don't benefit from a trait, however, they are just more innately strong units. Like, for example, Aphelios sunders enemies, which reduces their armor, and innately hits 3 targets until he activates his ability, and then he hits them a few times really quickly for a little bit more damage. But yeah, getting some Targon units really early is gonna be really good for like setting a win streak. So hopefully we can see some of that going on.
Definitely. We don't see a lot of, in double up, a lot of streaking, either win or loss, because there's often a lot of times where there'll be, pardon me, one player who wins, one player who loses, and that makes it a lot more difficult for teams to build a streak, even for the players as well. When they get gamed 2-on-1 towards the end of a fight, really changes the dynamics of everything. I think the longest streak we saw last game was 5, and that I think was only achieved by 1 or 2 players. I think Jai and Retro actually.
I believe Steph as well got a little bit of a streak. I'm not sure how long that was, but yeah.
I think, but it's still, like, I mean, it's not the same as, you know, we would routinely see 9, 10, 11 wins at least once or twice per week. In singles. So obviously double up really changes the dynamics. It changes sort of how you use your econ. I think we tend to be a lot more conservative with our econ because we know that it's not going to be as easily attainable when we can't build a streak and this that, and the other. So we'll see how that changes, how our players approach this. But we're about to head into PvP for the first time in Phase 2. Retro takes on Jax here, Team Purple versus Team Pink, which means Team Yellow and Team Blue will be off-screen fighting each other as well. So Retro versus Jax. Already, Jax gets 1 pick against Retro, but Retro does have the advantage of 1 additional unit being level 4. But Jax with a more fleshed out backline starts to attack Retro's units sort of 2-on-1 or 3-on-1, but now it's a 2v2, becomes a 2v1. But both of Jax's units quite low health, but in comes Yowie Addict for some backline support, and that'll be all she wrote. First win goes to Team Pink there, as Yowie Addict does lose out actually, so was not there for any support, but Jax still got it done against Retro. So that moves Team Yellow, Pastelava and Coco Slayer into the lead with a double win to kick things off. Team Blue and Team Pink tie for second, with Team Purple, last game's winners, bringing up the rear. But of course, still all to play for, not telling at all here. Simply in phase 2. The leaderboard really can be deceitful, as we saw last game, right up until the very last phases, as 1 3-star attain or anything like that can absolutely change the dynamics of the game, as now Team Yellow versus Team Purple are going to go at it here. This is Pastelava versus Retro, so Retro trying to bring Team Yellow off that pedestal of invincibility so far, as in comes Jai here, as they took down Team Blue, I believe it was, or Team Yellow, sorry, so that was Coco Slayer that Jai took down, now working in tandem to take down Pastelava, and that is a big win for Team Purple. And Team Pink now do take the lead for the first time tonight. Jax and Yowie Addict up at the front, with second and third tied on points. Team Blue at the bottom, so things changing a lot early game here.
Yeah, very dynamic again, like last game. We're very used to seeing this person's going to win, this person's already lost. So again, really nice to see a very dynamic game. Oh, I love this Viego augment. Basically, every time he casts, he gains like stacking ability power on hit. And I believe this one gives the stacking on hit damage to his Shadow Isles units. So very fun, very fun. Speaking of character augments though, Jai got Trials of Twilight, which is the Jinzhao augment where when you get him to 3-star and then have him in combat for 5 times, he turns into Zahen. Love Zahen, very goofy, just spins around and then blows up, I guess. Like, fucking love him. But that is also a gateway for Darkin. Very good if you get one of the Darkin weapons. But it's also a gateway to get Aatrox, maybe a little bit of a Slayer, or just if you don't want to include him, that's fine. Because Zahen, Ionia, pretty good comp.
We'll see. Excuse me, into the carousel for the first time. Of course, everyone's still in the fight here. Team Pink leads the way by 6 points over Coco Slayer and Pastelava of Team Yellow. 1 point back to Team Purple of Retro and Jai, with Avi and Steph of Team Blue rounding out the field. So only 12 points still separating everyone in this game, as Yowie Addict, I believe, is the first to hit level 5, followed very shortly afterwards by Jai. So everyone roughly on the same path in terms of how they're investing their econ, but I think everyone being a little bit more conservative with their gold. As we mentioned, it's I think a bit harder to build up gold as it becomes harder to streak, but Steph on a 3-loss streak, of course, on the surface doesn't sound too good, but in TFT that's going to really help your econ. I think in a game mode where econ is so important in terms of how hard it is to attain, I think that's going to prove potentially pivotal later on in the game. So I think Steph and Team Blue with Avi, I think as well, are going to be ones to look out for. We'll see if that loss streak continues for Steph, which I don't think is something he'll be too upset about. As you can see, Jai beginning to overwhelm Steph here, and that is going to be 4 losses in a row for Steph, as Jai brings Team Purple back up to second place. Avi as well losing out, so there is starting to be a big gap between Team Blue and the rest of the field here, as Yowie Addict and Jax both building up a very, very healthy win streak early doors here, which is of course better than a loss streak. All the same econ, but even more HP, and they have now 7 points over Retro and Jai, so a nice cushion as well. Definitely ones to watch here.
Yeah, Yowie Addict here going potentially for a Bilgewater comp, a comp that we are very familiar with here. Yeah, very close to 5 Bilgewater already. Yeah, no notes. But Steph here going for the Noxus comp, but unfortunately hasn't been able to find like a Scion or something yet. As we can see, he only has 2 Noxus, but then has like 2 Defender in the front line. So maybe just lost streaking on purpose, or unable to find those Noxus units for now.
The Yowie Addict does get it done against Steph there. So Steph down to 5 in a row on the loss streak, and Jack's up to 5 in a row on the win streak. As with a double loss for Retro and for Jai, that is an even bigger gap now between first and second. 13 points here as Team Purple down to 84. And immediately a lot of players up to level 5 simultaneously. So everyone roughly on an even playing field in terms of the units they have. Or the amount of units, I should say, that they are allowed to put on their battlefield. At any one time. Still going for a defender comp. Defender comp wasn't something we saw at all really in game 1. Certainly not as the main trait of a comp, but that seems to be how Jaya is building his comp at the moment with what he's been given. See, 2 Demacia, 2 Ionia units as well. So a lot of variety at the moment for Jaya.
Yeah, very flexible. In the early game, Demacia and Ionia are really easy to connect together, I guess, due to Xin Zhao being from both Demacia and Ionia. So a little bit helpful there. Probably will be going into Ionia comp due to Zahen being Ionian himself. But I guess it just really depends on the Ionia trait today, or not today, this round, as the Ionia trait changes from game to game.
There we go. And we saw as well in Jai Shop as well, did purchase a Xinjiao there. So that is definitely, that augment is going to become more and more, I think, powerful for Jai. So again, potentially sneakily building up to a big grand finale like we saw last game with those Orns and those other units that were slowly building up to become a 3-star 5 cost out of nowhere and start to really decimate some teams here. But
Yeah.
Team Blue and Team Pink will now take on one another. It's Yowie Addict versus Arvi here. We'll see if Team Pink can continue their win streak. Jax is on 5, Yowie Addict on 4. Steph and Arvi looking to, sooner rather than later, I would imagine, lift themselves up from the foot of the leaderboard. But of course, loss streaking, never a bad way to go. And it's going to be, I think, 5 in a row for Yowie Addict. It most certainly is a commanding victory for Yowie Addict here, as a double win for Coco Slayer and Pasta Lover keeps them in range of Team Pink here, as now they will be 2-on-1 against the Retro, powerless to resist here, as Jaya loses out as well, as a double loss for Team Blue, which means there is now a big gap between the top 3 and Team Blue at the foot of the leaderboard here. But as you can see in the top right of your screen, Team Pink are on fire, as you've now got some augments to choose from here. This is Jax's selection.
Yeah, a really good run currently from Yowie Addict and Jax. Hopefully they'll be able to carry that on. Yeah, Jax here potentially going for a Zorn comp. We'll have to see if that is a late game Zorn comp or a reroll Zorn comp. But as of right now, it looks as though it is an Echo reroll comp. As we can see, level 5 with a lot of gold, but also 2 Echoes in the on the bench there. Going up to level 6. Who are we going to put in? Another Jinx. Devious.
Definitely looking to build a very strong Zorn comp here. Zorn comps that get heavily contested last game. Looking to, they've proven to be very strong here. Jax now taking on RV as well. So again, it's blue versus pink, yellow versus purple here. We'll see if pink can continue, pardon me, this hot streak that they are on here. And it looks to be going that way, as just about looks to overwhelm the backline here of RV here. It's a 2v1 at the end, and it's going to be an easy win there for Jax, who now jumps in to help Yowie Addict against Jai and Retro. So a 2v2, but it's going to go the way of Team Pink. 6 wins in a row for Yowie Addict, 7 in a row for Jax. They are building up some big econ and a big buffer to everyone else. They sit on 97 points, 75 points for Team Yellow, 72 for Team Blue, and 58 for Team Blue.
Yeah, Steph and RV avoiding that 6-7 today, thank goodness, this round. Yeah, Yowie Addict and Jax popping off last game. That second Jinx just gave him enough damage to kill that Jhin and kill that Ahri before they got the chance to cast. So very well played there, actually. Yeah.
Definitely a very, very well played game here, early doors here from Team Pink, and they've been able to really build some solid momentum early game, which is difficult to do in double up. Purple versus blue now means that yellow and pink will take each other on. This is Retro versus Steph, third versus fourth in the team's fight here. 72 points versus 58. Jaya losing out to Yowie Addict. Yowie Addict now on 7 in a row here, and Jax on 8 in a row as they take down I believe that's one of Team Yellow of Coco Slayer and Pasta Lover, as both of Purple Team as well lose out, which means that the bottom three are now a lot closer together, and Team Pink are absolutely running away with it, heading into the carousel for the second time. It's Team Pink that lead the way on 97 points, 65 points for second place. Yellow Team just 2 points behind are Team Purple in third place, and then on 58 points, bringing up the rear so far is Team Blue, Steph and Arvi.
Yes. Sorry, I just really heavily zoned out.
I mean, this is an enthralling game.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, who are we looking at right now? We're looking at Retro right now, going for a Demacia comp. Also got a little bit of a yodel in there. A little bit mischievous.
A little bit of everything, really.
Yeah, a little bit of everything, yeah. I can see that Lux there, so probably going for more of like a vertical Demacia comp, potentially a reroll Vayne. Pastlover here going Void again. Goated, to be fair. I really like the Void comp. It's pretty strong, I'd say. Especially once you get that Baron. It takes a second to get there, that's for sure. But once you do, I love it. It's really fun. But yeah, as we can see here, got that Rift Herald already pretty early into the game. Yeah, holding on to this Lissandra as well. Potentially gonna give that over to Coco Slayer at some point, or maybe get some Invokers or Freljords up in here. I'd love to see that.
We would certainly love to see it, as yeah, a lot of cooperation. Excuse me. As you see that cannon in the bottom right, that is what the teams are using to send items and units to one another. They quite literally just get fired over to somewhere off screen, and they somehow land on the benches and on the boards of their teammates. This is Pasta Lover versus Retro, which means that it's going to be purple versus yellow and thus blue versus pink. Interestingly, Jax loses out there in their fight. Meanwhile, Pasta Lover and Retro still going at it very, very early doors here, but none of their teammates jumping in here, as Pasta Lover does eventually take down Retro. So that does put a small dent in Yowie Addict and Jax's lead, but not too much. Still lead by 31 points, and of course Yowie Addict has retained their win streak, so they will still be continuing to get a lot of econ here. As we see a completed out an anvil, I believe this is for Coco Slayer, and has one of 5 choices. And they are going to apply that to one of their units pretty much immediately. I think they immediately knew what they wanted there.
Yeah, went for that Warmogs, put that on the Loris right there. I know Shadow Isle's Warden is a pretty good comp at the moment. It's like a Hugo Callista, and with this Viego augment, that will be pretty strong with Callista as well, especially if you get like a Gunsu's Rage Blade. She's going to be applying those attacks really quickly. But yeah, last round as well, Pasta Lover just clutching with that Hand of Justice, just giving the Kog'Maw enough sustain to survive and cast a few more times and just get that damage off.
Definitely. We'll see how that comes out for them. Coco Slayer and Jax now going to take each other on here. This is yellow versus pink, so blue versus purple will be the other match on the card here. Yeah, we had it again, further increasing their win streak, as Jax still continues to fight on here. It becomes a 2v2, but it goes the way of Team Pink here, which is a double loss for Team Yellow and Team Purple. Moves Team Blue from 4th all the way to 2nd in one foul swoop, and it's almost a mirror image, really, of what we saw in Game 1, where Team Purple are down to the bottom of the leaderboard, but of course that, as we saw, is not all telling here. A 2-star Twisted Fate for Yowie Addict, potentially trying to beef up that Bilgewater comp that they may be going for, continuing to survey their options. Still, I think, sort of maybe getting to the time where they finalize what comp they're going for, but I think options still available as it's going to be some more PvE action, I believe, as they all very routinely win their matches.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, Steph here with a Noxus comp. Probably, well, as of right now, going for a Draven carry. Potentially going for a Draven reroll. But also got a few items on that Ambessa. So once he gets that to 2-star, he'll be able to get the Mal. But doesn't have any AP items, so might struggle to build her. But if he gets that 3-star Draven, it might not be too much of a problem.
Definitely, we'll have to wait and see. Of course, it's becomes the case really of a lot of these things that we notice early doors really only start to come to the forefront towards the end of the game when all the infrastructure is essentially built around it. As we see Steph taking on Coco Slayer, so Team Blue versus Team Yellow means purple versus pink will be on the other card here. And right now, Coco Slayer and Steph looks to be very, very even here. We'll see if either one of them can begin to pull away, and eventually Steph gets the win over Coco Slayer. It's another double loss for Team Yellow. That relegates them to last place. Yowie Addict streak is broken there. That was around 9 or 10 games, so by far the longest streak we've seen tonight. But that is broken. Steph and Arvi get a double win. Steph up to 5 wins in a row. We saw that loss streak that Steph was on, and the economy that was building, that has proven to be fruitful at this point. They're up to second place and with a lot of momentum here. We see Steph's collection of augment picks here goes for 1 reroll. Still has now 2 rerolls here and a triple reroll there and a 3-star Twisted Fate for Yowie Addict as well.
Yeah, Steph settling on that Jeweled Gauntlet. Jeweled Lotus, I mean, sorry. Probably going to be a little bit helpful for Draven, just going to push him up to that 100% crit rate. As I believe with IE and Stride Breaker, it sits at like 90% or something like that. But will help his damage overall because it allows for all of your abilities to critical strike, and then it gives a little bit of critical strike, a little bit of critical rate on top of that. Yeah, Steph getting another Ambessa there. Very close to 2-star Ambessa, so gonna be looking for that Mal, I presume.
Definitely looks to be that way, and immediately Steph with a very convincing victory over Pastelove. It does not look to be going too well for Team Yellow at the moment. Steph with all the momentum here. 6 wins in a row. Arvi as well up to 5 in a row. So, and as Jax again loses out to Arvi, as we mentioned, as Steph came in to make that a 2-on-1. Yowie Addict as well loses out. That is going to bring Team Blue a lot closer to the forefront here. Now just 18 points separate our top 2 teams. 76 points for Team Pink, 58 for Team Blue. Purple and Yellow not out of it by any stretch of the imagination, but a lot of them really aren't on the momentum course that they really want to be at the moment. Although Jai 1 away from a gold Ionia, we mentioned at the beginning of the game that was the comp they were likely to go for, and that is what they've done. So still waiting to see if that gold Ionia could potentially change the tide and the momentum for Team Purple here. As they are going to take on Team Pink, our leaders here. This is Jai versus Jax here. We'll see if 6 Ionia is strong enough to take down first place at the moment here. And it looks to be doing a fairly decent job at the minute, but Jax holding firm. Yowie Addict does lose out to Steph, which I think that was Steph, pardon me. However, Jax does win against Jai, meaning that it's not too bad of a hit. However, a double win for Team Blue does bring them still closer. A double loss for Team Yellow means that they are down to just 15 points. Their back's really against the wall now. So heading into the carousel, Team Pink still lead the way on 70 points, 58 for Team Blue, who have all the momentum, as you can see, on a big win streak here. Team Purple on 39 and Pastelove and Coco Slayer on 15.
Yeah, despite Yowie Addict and Jax not doing very well at the moment, hopefully they'll be able to turn it around as they've got a lot of health, so they have time to, you know, come back. But unfortunately for the likes of Jai and Retro, Jai still not able to get that 3-star Xin Zhao, so that Zion is going to be very delayed. But they don't have much health to stall for. And yeah, Coco Slayer and Pastelava just not coming through this game, unfortunately. Um, yeah. Jax here with the Zorn comp. 2 away from that 3-star Echo, but does have like a very... Oh, never mind. Does have a Warwick with a few items, so... Yeah.
Definitely looking to build something that is fairly strong here for Team Pink. So not over just yet, but this is Steph now against Jax. Steph and RV have all the momentum at the moment, both of them on very, very long win streaks, as denoted by the fire around their avatars. That means you're on a win streak of 5 or more, and that's going to continue to increase here as Steph does take down Jax, which means it's going to become a 2v1 against Yowie Addict. But Yowie Addict does actually win, as well as a double win for Steph and RV. Brings it a little bit closer here between first and second, just 6 points. Meanwhile, another double loss for Pastelova Coco Slayer. Means they are just down to 4 points, 1 game away from being on the brink of potential elimination, which is really not what you want to see only in phase 4-6. With still so much to play for, but they have not got the time anymore to start mounting a comeback. It needs really to happen now rather than never, I suppose. We see some 2-star units for Pastelova start to come into the fray, but I just wonder if it might be too little too late, as it's... we've seen a lot of teams as well be getting 2-star units for a while now. Retro versus Steph. This is Team Purple versus Team Pink here. Steph continuing, or trying to continue, we should say, that very long win streak. Same with RV. Team Pink trying to protect that lead as Team Blue have caught up very, very, very quickly indeed here. And RV does lose their win streak as Yowie Addict and Jax lose here. Steph also loses out to Retro here. That's going to give Retro and Jai something of a lifeline. Pastelova and Coco Slayer with a double win here. Keeps them alive on just 4 points. Now, really, no one has much momentum here as win and loss streaks have both been broken here. And Yowie Addict and Jax have just extended their lead a little bit to 12 points and a 3-star Jinjiao for Jai, which could be big for him.
Yeah, 3-star Jin Zhao definitely very crucial, although he does still need to get through 5-player combats. However, Retro seems to be doing pretty well at the moment. Just got that Galio, and that Lux seems to be doing pretty good as well. Yeah, Pastelova here going for that Void comp, looking for a... Well, potentially looking through a 3-star Belveth or Kaiser, but unfortunately, I don't think they're going to be alive long enough to get those, unfortunately. The same with Baron Nasha, just not enough econ and not enough time.
Definitely, as Pastelova has one of 4 item choices here. As a recurve bow, Tear of the Goddess, Sparring Glass, and Giant Spell, so very standard items that you would see, that you would get from the carousel. Or from one of these choices. Now taking on Yowie Addict here, who are of course your leaders, Pastelova and Coco Slayer. Very much need to start winning games, but of course got a double win last time around, so trying to continue that positive momentum. And Pastelova looks to really be overwhelming Yowie Addict here, and is going to decimate that team. Can Coco Slayer help the cause as well, taking down Jax? He does. So a second double win in a row for Team Yellow, a double loss as well for Team Pink as well. RV loses out as well. Steflo does get the win, which means Team Pink just about keep the lead by 5 points, 42 to 37. Retro and Jai still on 22 points. A second 3-star unit though, a Yasuo for Jai Gangplank, 3-star for Yowie Addict as well there on the top right of your screen. Pastelova and Coco Slayer, the leaderboard not to be deceiving. Potentially look like the strongest team at the moment with how really almost easily they took care of Team Pink there.
Sorry, who are you talking about?
Pastelova and Coco Slayer.
Pastelova, oh,
Looking
true,
very strong, despite
true.
the leaderboard.
Coco Slayer, yeah, 1 away from that 3-star Viego, but unfortunately level 8 at the moment, so getting that Viego, it's going to be a little bit difficult and might be a little bit of a hindrance. However, 4 Warden and 4 Shadow R's with that 2-star Callista could be just enough to pull them through. But Steph here with the 3-star Draven doing a lot of damage and just, yeah, Coco Slayer just unable to fight back against that.
And absolutely, that's going to put them down to 1 game away from elimination here. They're both on 1 HP here. And that could potentially be putting to bed any comeback chance they may have had. That momentum is, of course, all gone here. Retro, however, speaking of momentum, up to 6 wins in a row, the longest streak anyone has. That 3-star Viego you mentioned, George, Coco Slayer has just got that, so potentially still not over yet for Team Yellow. Retro and Jai just 1 win, 1 loss, so that's down to 15 points for them. Another 3-star unit for both Coco Slayer and for Yaoi Addict, Ilawi and Loris as well. Lots of 2 and 3-star units now on the cards for everyone here, pretty much. But a double loss for Team Pink does relegate them to 2nd place. As Steph and Arvi, your prediction pick, of course, take the lead here on 37 points with a double win, I believe, to kick things off. And now it's going to be 1st versus 2nd again. Steph versus Yaoi Addict here. We're going to see which way the momentum swings here. Steph started with a loss streak. Steph and Arvi started with a loss streak. Yaoi Addict and Jack started with a win streak. So both their econs particularly strong. But now Blue Team look much, much stronger than Pink Team here, as a win-loss for Team Blue versus a loss-loss for Team Pink moves Team Blue further out in front. So as we head into the carousel, another time here in Phase 5 for Steph and Arvi for Blue Team are on 30 points. Yaoi Addict and Jax for Pink Team are on 11 points. 3rd place is Purple Team, that's Retro and Jai, and still surviving with a double win in their most recent game, hanging on 1 HP, is Pasta Lover and Coco Slayer.
Yeah, very close for them. Coco Slayer just did get a few more units, so hopefully she can get those up a little bit more. But Jai, 2 player combats away from getting that Zahen as well. Retro on a win streak, so if Jai gets that Zahen, it could be pretty pivotal for this game. But Steph here, some pretty good itemization, actually got that Thieves Glove on Swain, a pretty tanky Scion, but the artifact with the Titans and Bloodthirster on Ambessa makes her a pretty strong fighter. But 2-star Swain there going to be pretty important, just adding to that front line, so Draven can get some more damage off, especially with Ginsu's as well. So the longer the fight goes on, the more attack speed he is going to get. And we're going to see Steph against Jax right now.
See, Steph and Jax are going to go at it Team Blue versus Team Pink, which means Yellow and Purple are going to go at it. Those are 2 teams that very much have their backs up against the wall in terms of HP here. We'll see who can take this win. Looks to be Steph just about over Jax, and that is down to just 2 points. That's a massive hit for Team Pink. Looks like for all the world they were contenders for victory here. Yaoi Addict does stay alive here, but Pasta Lover and Coco Slayer do lose out, which means they are eliminated in last place. Unfortunately for Pasta Lover and Coco Slayer for Team Yellow, they are out, which means just 3 teams remain. It's Team Blue, Steph and Arvi. They're on 23 points. Retro and Jai on 7 points in 2nd place. And Yaoi Addict and Jax, who look for all the world like big contenders, were leading as much as 30 points earlier on in this game. Now on a knife edge here, 2 points to their name left here, which means they're really 1 or 2 games, 1 or 2 losses away from being out. So they need to pull it together and fast if they're to get anything out of this game. And it starts with taking on Team Blue here, Steph and Arvi. This will be Yaoi Addicts versus Arvi. Arvi looking particularly strong in this moment here, but Yaoi Addicts looking very, very strong as well, beginning to overwhelm Arvi. Could this be a lifeline for Team Pink as it's beginning to get overrun here? Is Team Blue's defenses here, Arvi's defenses here? Can Steph come in? Steph loses out. It's a double loss for Team Blue. They're down to just 6 points. Yaoi Addicts and Jax down to just 1 point, which means now 7, 6, and 1 are the point totals heading into what could well be one of the last rounds of this game. Couldn't really be much tighter, could it?
Yeah, 7 health, 6 health, 1 health. I mean, if Steph and Arvi lose their next game, they will get that 1 HP lifeline. But it is very close to the edge for Yaoi Addict and Jax, unfortunately. But Jai here with that Zahen that we've been talking about for the entire game, getting it right towards the end, just able to get it in time. So this could be their game, I fear. Unless Steph, Avi, Yaoi Addict, or Jax pull something out of the bag, I'm not sure what could go wrong.
We'll have to wait and see as we see now level 9s appearing for Retro and for Steph here of Team Purple and Blue respectively here. Another 3-star unit for Team Pink here with a 3-star Echo as well. Everyone really throwing their last-ditch efforts at this in phase 6-1. This game could be over very, very quickly with everyone so low in health. Yaoi Addict and Jax are 1 loss away from elimination. Jai's team and Steph's team both 1 loss away from being put on that lifeline like Yaoi Addict and Jax are on now. And it's Team Purple versus Team Blue here. This is Jai versus Steph. A pivotal fight here in this game, and it's going to go the way of Steph, which means Retro and Jai are on a lifeline. Can Yaoi Addict keep Team Pink alive in this game as he takes on Retro here? And it's going to go the way of Yaoi Addict, just about. Team Pink stay alive. Everyone is on 1 HP.
Oh my god.
Everyone is on a lifeline here.
Oh
this could
my
not be any
God.
closer to round off the season here. Retro and Jai are on 1 point. Steph and Arvi on 1 point. Yaoi Addict and Jax on 1 point. This could end right now. This is nail-bitingly close here.
That is crazy. I feel like they could all lose
Just
this.
whoever loses last.
Unironically, like they could all lose this round. That'd be so funny to see. But it's crazy. Oh yeah, we can't get any closer. 1 health. You literally cannot get any closer than this.
Mathematically, it's not
Mathematically
possible.
impossible. Insane though. Like one of the most dynamic weeks we've had thus far.
Absolutely unpredictable at every turn. It's going to be Jax versus Steph. This is Pink versus Blue. Yaoi Addict gets it done here. However, Blue team are going to lose out. Purple team are going to lose out. I think they all lost. But Pink team are going to get it done by all losing at the same time. But Pink team lost only 1 less health point. So they won having -7 points. While Pink, Yellow and Blue had 8 points.
Gobsmack.
That is unbelievable. I don't think...
3-star 5 cost.
Yeah.
And everyone dying.
At the same time. The tiebreaker was the Pink team lost 1 less unit.
Crazy. Actually crazy.
They won on negative points.
One team was really close to coming in to fight. I think it was Steph.
Yeah.
But then Steph just clarted them at the last second. Like, I love that. That is the funniest game of TFT I've ever seen, hands down.
That was the closest game. I think Coco, Sarah, and Passo are probably kicking themselves, wishing they could have been part of that.
Yeah,
because
just
that
a
was
few
incredible. Everyone
health
was on their
difference.
lifeline, and everybody lost all their lifelines. And so it was down to a tiebreaker of who lost the least HP, and it went to Team Pink. It went to Yaoi Addict and to Jax. So I can have on my digital footprint now. Yaoi Addict has won game 2 of week 10 here to round off the season. What a game. What a week. That was amazing. We couldn't have asked for a better end to the season than that. 2 absolute Hollywood finishes here to our games. Our first 3-star 5 cost of the season in our very last week. And then whatever just happened.
Everyone dying on the last game.
Everyone dies at the same time.
On
No
the
one won,
last-
basically.
On the last game as
On
well.
the last game of the
last
season.
game.
On the last game of the Hive Esports Teamfight Tactics series in its first season. That is peak TFT, I would say.
TFT. What
That
a way
is-
to go.
You'll only find that on Hive.
True.
Forget Tactician's Crown.
True.
You won't find that anywhere. You'll find that on Hive Esports.
Only here. And if you want to see more, follow our socials. Let us know, because we might bring it back.
It could well be back at a later date. I can tell you it won't be back for season 2. Well, it won't be season 2. It'll be season 1 of just whatever game's next. But there could well be a season 2 of Teamfight Tactics in the pipeline in the near future. So stay tuned. But I think what we've learned is that our players are capable of delivering action no matter what you throw at them. Singles was amazing those 8 weeks. Double up has been incredible.
Yeah.
That was the best action we've seen all season, and it came at the perfect time right at the end. So with that said, we'd like to thank you all for watching, not just tonight, but for the past 10 weeks of the Hive Esports Teamfight Tactics series. Thanks to our players as well for playing along. Thank you to the production crew who currently sit just behind that TV monitor helping along the way. Thank you for following our socials on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, as well as here on twitch.tv/Hive Esports Games. We'll see you very soon for a brand new Hive Esports tournament, which will be announced very shortly, around early to mid-February. So with that said, thank you all so very much for watching. Have a very safe night. And for one final time from TFT, goodbye.